Hi everybody. Hello everybody. So it's been very exciting, a lot of new developments recently. Today I'm headed out to Griffith Park. I'm going to work with my friend on her QuickBooks, and then I get to go for a swim. I'm wearing my swimsuit now. It's brand new, so I get to get that all turned on and try that out. I'm very excited. I love swimming. It is one of my favorite activities in life. So I'm very keyed up. I don't know if I told you guys, but I hired a personal trainer. Turns out I have a new neighbor in the building, and he's a trainer. And he's got all these certificates, and he's insured, and one of his specialties is recovery. And so he's helping me work on my leg, and I see a huge difference already. And I have a friend on a Discord community I'm part of, and she talked about strength training, and what she got out of it. She said more than anything else, it gave her a lot of confidence. And I thought, okay, well, I didn't know I wasn't feeling confident, but I'm going to affirm her reflection. It does. I feel stronger, which gives me more confidence to move out and about in the world. So heads up, shout out to you, E. You are absolutely 100% correct. And people have remarked that I'm walking better. I look stronger. So, not that people are always saying, boy, you look like a weakling, but people who really know you, when they notice a difference, they remark on it. And so I've gotten good feedback that way. And then the biggest piece of news I have is that I hired an assistant. I'm very nervous about it. We're just gonna he's keeping his day job. Let me start there. His name is Sam. He's a super nice guy. He's keeping his day job. We're just going to start with a couple of hours a week and see if he can help me catch up on the work that I feel like I'm behind on. And if he likes it, we can talk about keeping him on past the crisis situation I'm managing. And if I like it, I can look at keeping him on more regularly, which would allow me to pick up a few more clients to make that sustainable. But this is a big move forward. It's something I've needed to do for a very long time, and I've just been too scared to make that change. It's an incredible investment when you bring somebody else onto the team. It's financial, it's emotional. It also means that your business is growing. So that's been a big. I'm out of breath just thinking about it. That's a big thing, It reminds me of the sensation I had. I tripped and fell at my friend's house, and just tripped on a carpet and ate shit, and my knees hurt, and I knocked the wind out of myself, and I just rolled over and sat on my butt for a minute. I was gonna just get it together, and my friend comes to help me, Chris. And Chris played football at USC and then later in the NFL. He's a big, strong guy. And he says to me, I'm going to help you up. And I said, okay. And I reached my hand out. And he goes, no, I'm going to help you up. it was this, I was so confused. I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he reached down and picked me up like I was a little kid under my armpits, like poop, and put me on my feet. That whole moment was so important because it made me realize that in my mind, I was still 370 pounds. And this was about 6 months ago. I haven't been 370 pounds in 14 years. But psychologically, I've been 370 pounds that whole time. That whole mental piece. And I said, you did more than help me stand up. You helped me lose 110 pounds in one gesture. In one gesture. That's all it took was this little flip of the switch. And I'm right back in that kind of feeling right now. I was advised by my mentor a year ago that I need to get an assistant. And I put it off because all the things that are intimidating about that. And even when I worked for a company and they were paying the salary and all that, I was always very cautious in my hiring practices because I feel like you are firing a person the minute you hire them. And what I mean by that is if you hire appropriately, they'll be with you forever. But if you don't hire the right person, you're going to have to go through the whole rigmarole of letting them go. So at the other end of employment, when it comes time to fire somebody, I never feel bad about that. Because everybody knows why I'm letting you go. It's not a sneak attack. It's not a surprise. You know why this is not a good fit anymore. So you shouldn't be shocked. If you work for me and I fire you, everybody knows why. This is not, there's nothing vindictive or surprising about it. There's very clear issues. So that part of it never, but where my anxiety always kicks in is in the hiring process. I want to get the right person. I want them to be happy. I want me to be happy. I want to be spending the money wisely. There's a little funny thing about bookkeeping. It's not hard to do, but it does require a certain set of instincts. And I could tell we spent like 2 hours yesterday just going over what the business is and how I do it and how I serve my clients, because what I do is kind of specialized. I do IOLTA compliance management for lawyers. Whew. So when lawyers get money from an insurance company or whatever for a settlement, that doesn't go into their bank account. They have a special bank account called an IOLTA. I don't remember what it stands for. The T and the A is trust account. That part I know. And there's all these special rules about it. The bank cannot charge it fees, cannot charge overdraft fees. It's a very special setup that they have. And the point is, that's a holding account, so nobody accidentally uses the settlement money to pay the rent. It's a holding account to protect the settlement for the clients. That money is used to pay off medical expenses, lawyer fees, and then the final settlement to the client. And so it it requires a lot of documentation to make sure that that's all, because we have had very high profile cases where lawyers were not following the rules. And as a result, the California bar has really gotten much more serious about it. So it's not difficult, but there's a higher level of responsibility. And this is a space where I can't just hire any old person. It's got to be somebody who's got some experience, some, you know, in some ways it could be a very good entry-level job. It's not difficult. It's not difficult in terms of task. Where the burden is in the responsibility. Can you be crystal clear on stuff? Because licenses, professions hang in the balance. If the IOLTA is mismanaged, a lawyer could wind up needing to get a new career because he or she gets disbarred. There's a high degree of responsibility required. So I'm working with this guy, Sam, and he's asking questions, and the more he asks questions, the more I can see how he thinks. And how he thinks is he's always asking the question, and then I say, I was about to explain that. Click on this page. You know, so he's got good instincts for what needs to happen. And he seems very conscientious. And what gives me a little relief is this is not his jobby job. This is a side gig for him. And he's going to test it out and see what he thinks. And it's just, for him, it's just going to be a little extra fun money. Because he's got a 9-to-5 position with a very good company, that 401k, all of that nonsense, where this is just a couple of hours a week that I'm giving him. So in that way, the pressure is off. I don't feel like I'm helping him make his rent. I'm helping him make his life a little more comfortable. But he's got his situation under control. So it's kind of an ideal situation. You know, he just sort of, you know, crossed my path totally by, you know, happenstance. I met him a few months ago. I've only met him the one time. He's a friend of a friend. And I hear about him all the time. And he seems like a super nice fellow. And we had a really long chat a few months ago. And then I didn't think anything of it. Then all of a sudden I woke up one morning and I went, I wonder if Sam could help me. Bloop. One of those miracle moments, you know, where your mind is so clear. That's clearly something your brain solved while you were asleep. And as you're waking up, oh, there's the puzzle you solved in your sleep. I was able to grab that idea. And he said yes. So, wish me luck. Wish him luck. Wish us both luck. But he seems open to it being open-ended, which, if it works out and we get the system all rolling, I could actually afford to bring on some new clients. But first, I got to catch up on the work that I have. Once all the work is caught up, I can see that there would be room in the schedule for more. And then, you know, maybe I could give him a raise. So, yeah. Big news. The business is growing. What a surprise. And then meanwhile, I know I'm in a much more relaxed state mentally because my creative writing brain is really on fire right now. And I've got a couple of scripts I'm working on. I've got an essay I need to write. And these ideas are just flooding my mind. And I'm really excited about it. So, yeah. So that's the update of what's going on for me right now. We're on the just hairy edge of July kicking in, and July, for whatever reason, is usually a very dry month financially, and I'm not sure how things are going to work out. So I'm making these changes right before the hardest month of the year. But oh well, I'm just going to trust the universe, trust the timing, that this is all as it should be. Oh, it's so smoggy today. Oh no, that's not smog. I'm headed east. Fuck, that's all from the fire in Boyle Heights. I don't know if that's still going. The warehouse fire that's been burning for a week. Yeah, this city is it's very smoky looking. It's like hazy. I keep an air filter going in my room all the time, especially when there are fires going on. Otherwise, I can't breathe. I get a runny nose and I can't stop coughing. Goodness, I wonder what it's going to be like, because I'm going up to Griffith Park. Maybe it's above the smoke. Fingers crossed. Yeah, this looks terrible. Well, we'll see what the aftermath of this is in the years to come. 8 years from now, cancer cluster. Gee, I wonder what caused it. God. Oh, what a crazy world we live in. What a crazy, crazy world we live in. I really hope you're having a good summer, that you're finding some nice, relaxing things to do. I don't know if people, south of the equator, I know it's their winter. It's got to be something. I wonder, going skiing in June, I wonder what that's like. Are there places to ski in South America? I would imagine, right? They've got mountains. I have no idea. Well, that's about everything I have. I'm not planning on going to any of the World Cup things, even though I'm here in Los Angeles. Last night there was a lot of fireworks and stuff from Mexico, which totally tracks. When Mexico is happy, there's always fireworks involved. Doesn't matter what it is. It's, the kid's 6th grade graduation, fireworks. Somebody's first tooth fairy, fireworks. Fireworks are very, very big. And the sparkly pretty ones make sense to me. They're very pretty to look at. But the ones that are just, a quarter stick of dynamite, it's just an explosive sound. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just violence. I mean, not that fireworks aren't violent, it's gunpowder. But, we'll see. I know they do more and more drone light shows instead of fireworks here in LA. And that's because of the fire hazard. I think it's going to be hard to get rid of fireworks entirely because they're so traditional. They're so part of the culture. But I haven't seen a drone light show yet. Maybe I'll look for one of those. That would be interesting. And this is it. This is it. This is basically the update. I don't have a whole lot more to say. If anybody's got an idea of a drone light show that I should check out, let me know. I'm very interested in that kind of thing. And I do want to get out of the house more, go do more. You know, it's shake off the hermitness that I've talked about before with the isolation that I entered into during COVID became such an ingrained habit. And now with gas prices being what they are, it's very easy for me to just go right back to pandemic style operations, a lot of remote work, so I don't have to pay, $7 a gallon. It's madness. And we'll probably see $10 by the end of the summer. So on one hand, one of the blessings of the pandemic was the lockdown taught everyone remote work works, and it's respectable and reliable, and you can get stuff done. So yeah, that's what's happening there. And that's everything I know. Oh, I might go to an escape room tomorrow. I've never done one of those. I'll let you know how that turns out. All right. You guys, we're going into the weekend. I hope you have a good one. I hope you stay out of trouble. And if you can't stay out of trouble, I hope you have fun and nobody gets hurt. Don't shoot your eye out. Okay. Bye.